Viewers, the voters have decided and the countdown for the assembly election results in Maharashtra has already begun. Will it be the Maha Yuti again, or will the Maha Vikas Aghadi make a comeback? Let's tell you what the exit polls are suggesting. Which way is the wind blowing? Who has the edge in this battle for Maharashtra, which virtually turned into a Maha war? For prestige and survival. Two big regional players went through a vertical split down the middle. This time there were two Shiv Senas, two NCPs. Just 6 months ago, the Lok Sabha elections gave an advantage to the Maha Vikas Aghadi. The BJP's performance was not very good in the Lok Sabha elections. The reason was a critical consolidation of the Muslim and Ambedkarite Dalit votes. The MVA succeeded in winning 30 out of the 48 Lok Sabha seats. BJP labelled it as a vote jihad, which became a prominent theme during campaigning. Will Maharashtra's Vikas Aghadi be able to capitalize on these gains that they have made? That's the big question. Let's go across to Madhav.
All right, Navika, these are the numbers. This is the numbers that everyone's been waiting for. North Maharashtra region, the first region in Maharashtra for a total of 288 seats. 35 of those seats come from this particular region. And just look at the numbers coming in from there. The BJP 20 to 23, the Congress alliance between 11 to 14. Of course, the MVA versus Aghadi, the numbers are clearly stacked up over there in favor of the BJP plus alliance. This is the region of North Maharashtra that we're talking about. Let's bring up the next region before we go across to our guests. If you can quickly bring up on our screen the next region that we're talking about. This is Vidarbha. This is the big X factor. The BJP has to do really well over here for it to have undone the performance of the Lok Sabha polls, and it appears from this exit poll that perhaps has worked on ground. The BJP plus projected between 28 to 36. The Congress plus between 21 to 31. Others at 3 to 5. Let's quickly take this across to JVC, perhaps, who can best explain Vidarbha. A very interesting
edge to the BJP. See, your reasons, because that is an area where the Congress expects to do well.
See, I think Vidarbha was a region where Congress could have probably done phenomenally well. But unfortunately, seats were just, I think SSUBT negotiated putting gun on their head. Ramtek seat, I can tell you, this was a seat which elected an SHS rebel last time. Probably this time they're going to elect a Congress rebel, because Shiv Sena just wanted that seat, and the fight is between Rajendra Mulak and Vakil Saab, who's the MLA of that particular constituency. Seat after seat, we can look at the Vidarbha areas where this is one is. Number two, I want to bring another seat called Washim. Washim is a seat where after 1990, BJP had lost the assembly election only in 2004. And in the parliamentary election, BJP trailed by 39,000 votes in Washim. Reason? Sangh was not there. Now, Sangh is fully active at Washim. And that is the impact which you're seeing. And now, I don't know, because in my opinion, exit poll, I'm giving the seat to Nana Patole. But the data which we are getting is even Nana Patole is struggling.
Okay. So it's not just individual seats.
But this is also the bellwether region. Vidarbha is the bellwether region. And if Vidarbha is where the BJP does well, is it going to make the government?
This is where I say that a simple majority is now the call of the day. I'm not asking you to call the elections, but I'm just saying in Vidarbha, all that talk of rural distress, if that has not dimmed the prospects of BJP, then all the others are going to be easier. That's the question.
I would say such a distress that we talked about. Now, what has happened is in the 2024 election, this is where the problem occurred. Right? Then the soya bean, cotton, all those corrective measures were taken by the Maha Yuti government. So then the benefits have not yet come. But then obviously, if these are the numbers that go to show that they have already realized that this is the unit which is going to give us returns as compared to the MVA, which is probably promising but not delivering. And the seats that JVC pointed out, it's important because here in 36 seats, the Congress and the BJP are a direct tucker with each other. And in direct tucker, the Congress doesn't really do well.
Which is why the Shiv Sena probably took away those seats. Kishore Tiwari ji, लोगों का कहना है यहाँ पर कि विदर्भा में जो एग्जिट पोल दिख रहा है, उसमें अगर बीजेपी और एनडीए आगे हैं तो ये पूरी गलती और ये पूरा जो अकाउंटेबिलिटी है शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे गुट की होगी, क्योंकि कांग्रेस का स्ट्रांग होल्ड था, आपने उनसे सीटें ले ली और यहां अगर परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी नहीं रही तो शायद आपके कारण अच्छी नहीं होंगी।
देखिए, मैं विदर्भ के यवतमाल जिले से बात कर रहा हूं और स्मिता का भी सुना मैंने, और कपास उगाने वाले किसान, सोयाबीन उगाने वाले किसानों को बहुत दिक्कत है और चुनाव में बहुत ज्यादा परेशानी बीजेपी को प्रचार करने में ही हुई और बहुत कुछ मुद्दे थे, लेकिन लाड़की बहन का एक एडवांटेज था उनको और मैंने आज वोटर्स के अंदर देखा भी। लेकिन मैं आपको बताता हूं कि कई जिले जहां बीजेपी पूरी साफ हो रही है, जैसे यवतमाल है, वर्धा में बहुत बड़ी कड़ी चोट है, नागपुर ग्रामीण में चोट है, भंडारा में भी है और वाशिम की बात कर रहे थे। कैसा है, एक्सपर्ट लोग जो है, वाशिम में शिवसेना का कैंडिडेट 1.5 लाख वोटों से जीता था, यानी वाशिम यवतमाल में, और वाशिम मतदार संघ में 40,000 की लीड शिवसेना को थी और हमने जो उम्मीदवार दिया है, मैं वहां हूं, उस यहां से मैं रिपोर्ट कर रहा हूं।
नंबर ये नहीं बता रहे, पोल ऑफ पोल के नंबर आएंगे तो वो भी आपके साथ शेयर करूंगी। बट संजय झा joins the broadcast and Sanjay Jha, it's not looking good for the Congress party, not in Jharkhand and not in Maharashtra either, because we've seen 2 regions in Maharashtra, North Maharashtra and Vidarbha. Vidarbha is the bellwether region. If Vidarbha is won by somebody, they form the government in the state, and exit polls are right now showing advantage NDA in Vidarbha. The agriculture distress that was being spoken of, that's been addressed by the Maha Yuti. The advantage goes back to them, and the fact that the Congress was forced to give up many seats in favor of the Uddhav Thackeray group. Do you think it's ultimately going to come down to that, how the seats were distributed?
Navika, good evening. You know, as far as Maharashtra is concerned, I have been in touch with a lot of people across the state. And what I have heard till earlier this evening, that's just around 4:30 to 5, that the MVA is likely to triumph in 4 of the 6 regions. Vidarbha and Marathwada Congress is likely to do very well. I have been told that we will do better than what we did in the Lok Sabha, including in Western Maharashtra and Mumbai. North Maharashtra is going to be an even contest. And I think I will concede that in the Thane, Kalyan and Konkan belt, probably I think the Shiv Sena and the BJP will be ahead. But I think on an aggregate basis, therefore, while the margins will be thin and there will be rebel candidates, and a lot of people are speculating that around 40 to 50 seats are going to be very wafer thin, so hard to predict on vote shares, which is what I think JVC has done. The truth is that this election is going to be close to call for the same reason. Don't forget, Navika, that we were ahead in 31 Lok Sabha seats is what we won, but the number of assembly seats were 155. They were not like 180 or 190. So you are talking about a close contest. We have never said this is going to be some kind of a historic sweep. If JVL believes it is, he can go ahead and put his neck on the line. But I believe on the 23rd of November, we are going to see results that will probably favor MVA, because in 4 regions, they look distinctly ahead. So that is where I think our optimism comes from.
Well, let me get in GVL Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao, good evening to you. Exit polls, music to your ears so far?
Yeah, good evening, Navika, to all the panelists and all the viewers as well. You see, after the experience of recent exit polls, We are certainly counting more on our own grassroots feedback, our own assessments, rather than exit poll results per se. But we don't really dispute or we don't question the veracity or even the intention behind these polls. We don't attribute motives like the Congress has always done. I have been an exit pollster myself for many years, and certainly there is some scientific basis to it, but there are occasions when they have gone wrong. Today we are very gung-ho about Maharashtra and Jharkhand because we have seen on the ground our government in Maharashtra has delivered, and certainly people are looking forward to a third term for the Maha Yuti in Maharashtra. And I'm happy to see Sanjay Jha with tempered expectations, unlike the exuberant enthusiasm that he exhibited on the counting day for Haryana. Certainly, I think we all need to be a little circumspect. We need to wait for the final results, but we are confident.
GVL Narasimha Rao, there is a request from Vivek Srivastava ji. No, there is a request from Vivek Srivastava which we must all take very seriously. He says do not mention the name of Haryana because उससे बहुत दर्द होता है इनको और वो दर्द बेयर नहीं कर पाते हैं हरियाणा वाला. So just out of friendly coexistence, please do not use the word Haryana elections because sends shivers down the spines of the India alliance. And that is also something that Sanjay Jha had predicted would be a victory of the India alliance. But joining me on the show is Pankaja Munde of the BJP. Pankaja ji, on the ground, चुनाव किस तरह के हैं, किस तरफ जा रहे हैं? एग्जिट पोल में अभी हमने 2 रीजन देखे और उसमें थोड़ा एडवांटेज बीजेपी को लग रहा है, लेकिन सबका कहना है विदर्भ में जो होगा उसी से चुनाव तय होगा. आपको क्या लग रहा है ग्राउंड पे विदर्भ में क्या होने वाला है?
देखिए, मुझे ये लग रहा है, मैं पूरे महाराष्ट्र में कैंपेन कर चुकी हूँ अभी, विदर्भ में, वेस्टर्न बेल्ट में, मराठवाड़ा में. मुझे लग रहा है जो पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शन में जो सिचुएशन था उससे आज हमारा सिचुएशन बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा है. जो फेक नैरेटिव उस समय क्रिएट किए गए थे उसकी वजह से जो लोगों के अंदर एक कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट हुआ था वो इस बार नहीं है. और क्योंकि मोदी जी की सरकार देश में बन चुकी है तो लोगों को जरूर ये चाहिए कि विकास की गति बढ़े और इसलिए हमारे महायुति पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा विश्वास करेंगे. विदर्भ में भी हम बहुत अच्छे से परफॉर्म करेंगे और पूरे महाराष्ट्र में मुझे तो लगता है कि हम अच्छे से परफॉर्म करने जा रहे हैं. आपने दूसरा रीजन बताया नहीं और मुझे लगता है वो हो सकता है
महाराष्ट्र में भी बीजेपी को एडवांटेज है, लेकिन ये नोट जिहाद और वोट जिहाद की भी तो लड़ाई है. कौन जीतने वाला है, नोट जिहाद या वोट जिहाद?
देखिए, मेरी अपनी सोच है कि कोई भी जिहाद जीतना नहीं चाहिए, हमेशा जीतना चाहिए विचार और विकास.
मुंबई में और महाराष्ट्र में वोटर टर्नआउट लो रहा है, इसका कारण?
मुझे जनरली शहरों में वोटर टर्नआउट इतना अच्छा नहीं होता है, ग्रामीण विभाग में अच्छा होता है. तो मुझे नहीं लगता उसका कारण कुछ स्पेशल होगा.
आपको लगता है जो स्कीम्स हैं, लाडली बहन, लाडले भाई, ये सारी स्कीम्स का असर ऑन द ग्राउंड पड़ा है इस चुनाव में?
जरूर पड़ा है. बहुत अच्छे से लोगों के अंदर ये योजनाओं का इम्प्रेशन है और सिर्फ इम्प्रेशन नहीं है, टेक्निकली और प्रैक्टिकली योजनाएं उन तक पहुंची है. तो ये जो सिर्फ हवा में हमारी बातें हैं या हमारे मैनिफेस्टो में है और रियलिटी में नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं हुआ है. लोगों तक ये योजनाएं पहुंचने की वजह से विश्वास जो है वो लोगों का पूरी तरह हमारे गठबंधन पर है.
पंकजा जी, जाने से पहले बस एक ही सवाल पूछूंगी और वो सवाल यही है कि इस चुनाव में बहुत सी पार्टियां हैं, 6 बड़ी पार्टियां हैं. महा विकास अघाड़ी की 3 हैं, 3 महायुति की हैं. आपस में अजीत पवार फैक्शन वर्सेस शिंदे फैक्शन वर्सेस कांग्रेस वर्सेस इंडिपेंडेंट्स वर्सेस उद्धव ठाकरे, ये बहुत चल रहा है. इस वजह से ये इलेक्शन कंफ्यूज्ड हो जाएंगे, वोटर कंफ्यूज्ड हो जाएंगे, हंग हाउस हो जाएगा, ऐसा भी बहुत लोग कह रहे हैं. आप क्या समझती हैं?
मुझे नहीं लगता वोटर कंफ्यूज है. मुझे ये जरूर लगता है कि हमारा पायलट इसमें हो चुका है चुनाव, वो पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शन है, ये नई गठबंधन के साथ, तो लोगों ने ये गठबंधन को ऑलरेडी एक्सपीरियंस कर चुके हैं। हाँ, पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शन में ये बहुत टोटली नया था। जैसे हमें अगर घड़ी के चिन्ह पर वोट करना है तो ये बहुत बड़ा हमारे लिए नया एक्सेप्ट, जैसे धनुष्यबाण और कमल का युति हमें आदत का युति था, पर एक नया अलायंस हमारे साथ जुड़ा। पर जो पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शन में हम उसके आदी हो, मैं ये जरूर सोच रही हूँ, बहुत सारे लोग चुन उतरे हैं, इसकी वजह से 3 से 4 अच्छे नेता चुनाव में, कोई अपक्ष है, कोई चिन्ह लेकर है, तो जो मार्जिन रहेगी जीत की वो बहुत कम जगहों पर, जैसे मेरे चुनाव क्षेत्र में बहुत रहेगी क्योंकि मेरे भाई और मैंने एक साथ लड़ा है, परंतु बाकी जगहों पर मुझे मार्जिन का थोड़ा लग रहा है क्योंकि 4-5 लोग में बंटवारा हो रहा है वोटों का।
बहुत बड़ी बात आप कह रही हैं, कितनी सीटों पे मार्जिन इधर से उधर होगा, नैरो मार्जिन्स में गेम कहीं भी चली जाती है। पंकजा मुंडे जी, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए, बात करने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एंड दैट इज द बिग क्वेश्चन। एंड एडवोकेट विजय लक्ष्मी खोपड़े ऑल्सो ज्वाइनिंग द शो, national spokesperson of the NCP Sharad Pawar faction. And I want to ask you, is this going to be a close contest where margins will be low, as stated by Pankaja Munde ji, and that's why, it can go one way or the other?
It was most interesting that, especially after the Lok Sabha elections and the arrogance that the ruling party had during the Lok Sabha election, the voters had successfully quelled their arrogance and ignorance. And I think it is especially because of that the ruling party, even in the Maharashtra, is taking a very cautious stand with a lot of caveats that, yes, it is going to be a very tough fight, without having that entire sense, no, we are going to be the largest party and everything. And especially when it comes to Western Maharashtra, which has 2 big cities like Pune, Mumbai, or even Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, there is a very tightrope walk that these political parties have to do, which is the urban, rural, as well as the tribal areas. And somehow, as far as the urban areas is concerned, we have seen in the past few years, especially with this political party in power, a complete collapse of the infrastructure, people being stuck in traffic for 2 hours while trying to cover a distance of barely 15 minutes, complete breakdown of all sorts of infrastructure, law and order situation and everything. And somehow the populist schemes like the Ladki Bahin and Ladki Bhau Yojana, it is only, I think, it's only for a very time being and a very shiny sort of a thing.
Are people going to fall for that? We'll have to wait and watch. Let's go to the next 2 regions in Maharashtra. And Madhav, can you take us through the numbers in the next 2 regions?
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at the other regions that we're talking about in Maharashtra. This is Western Maharashtra at 70 seats out of the 288. Over here as well, the BJP alliance appears to have the edge as far as JVC's exit poll is concerned. 34 to 41 is the range given to the BJP alliance. Congress alliance from 27 to 34. Others between 1 to 2. This is as far as Western Maharashtra is concerned. Let's look at the next region that we're talking about. If we can quickly bring up, in fact, the Konkan region up on our screens. This is the numbers. 39 out of the 288 are over here. BJP again at 23 to 26. Congress alliance from 9 to 12. This is where it's essentially, in fact, the BJP alliance, Sena versus Sena scene in many of those seats over there. So will be very interesting to see if this actually comes true. Very interesting set of numbers, JVC. Your explanation for the same.
Western Maharashtra is going to shock everybody. Because for some reasons which cannot be explained, in 2019, in Western Maharashtra, there was a lot of anger against Devendra Fadnavis. But this election, we don't see that at all. Manoj Jarange's influence is absolutely not there in Western Maharashtra. In Pune, the BJP is doing very well. Satara district BJP is doing extremely well. And the biggest surprise is going to be, according to my exit poll, there are 2 big things. One, Karaj South. Former Chief Minister Prithviraj Chauhan is trailing. Sholapur City Central, which used to be the bastion of Shril Kumar Shinde's family, there BJP is winning. Reason is, in Karaj South, Atul, who's the BJP candidate, he came 3rd in 2014, he contested again in 2019, lost by 9,000 votes. During the COVID time, people are saying that he has reached out to every one of the houses. He has got 2 sugar mills. One is a cooperative, one is a business. And another is, he is running an educational institution. 53,000 cooperative members are getting 5 kg sugar. As a result of which, even in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, BJP took a lead in Karaj South, prompting Prithviraj Chauhan to come and say that I am probably stuck in a big fight against this guy. So he's also from the royal family. So I expect Atul to win from Karaj South. And Kolhapur also, there could be a surprise. And we also know in one of the Kolhapur South, Kolhapur seats, the Congress candidate last minute withdrew. Congress does not have an official candidate.
They have to support an independent.
Exactly. Yeah. And more importantly, there are
Solapur, which is Sushil Kumar Shinde's bastion. There, I'm told the family is not supporting the Congress candidate, but an independent.
Communist is also there. CPIM is also there. And Congress, in fact, when Shinde's daughter won, in her own assembly segment, she led by just 800 votes. Even at that point of time itself, we told.
There was talk also that she may not get the ticket also. That also was happening. And where there was some muscle flexing which happened and she got the ticket ultimately.
In fact, it is a sugar belt which is going to do good for BJP, and soybean belt is going to...
Big revelation coming in. Anand, I'm coming to you. But first to Dr. Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, ticket distribution and the manner in which... seat sharing happened between the parties. Do you think that is going to be the Achilles heel as far as the Maha Vikas Aghadi is concerned?
Navika, in all honesty, on seat distribution and rebels, all political parties have struggled. And for obvious reasons, right? It's a very splintered polity. But please focus on 2 points here. Number one, that in the Western Maharashtra belt, which is, by the way, very prosperous, I have myself personally traveled in that years ago. And I can tell you this, that this time the water woes, the agrarian distress, the farmers' problems have been more aggravated than ever before. So please remember, they are going to manifest at the EVM. Secondly, go to the Lok Sabha poll, Navika. In the Lok Sabha results, 6 seats out of 10 were won by the India Alliance, including the Congress and the NCP Sharad Pawar and Uddhav's party. In fact, the BJP and the Eknath Shinde won 4 seats. If anybody believes that the economic problems have changed, they haven't. In fact, they got worse. Secondly, why should therefore the sentiment change so dramatically as to put BJP ahead of the Congress combined is intriguing. But I will wait for the 23rd of November.
Intriguing, Susie.
Interesting update coming in. Devendra Fadnavis has just made an unscheduled stop at the RSS headquarters. He's met Mohan Bhagwat for 15 minutes, and also present was Bhaiyaji Joshi. Mr. Rajgopal, is that a thank you meeting?
That is the one. That is Smita, 1 second. What I have learned after spending a lot of time in Maharashtra, RSS and VHP have done extremely well. In this 6 months' time, from Lok Sabha to Assembly election, RSS have kept up Devendra Fadnavis. And Sushil Kumar Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis combined worked very well on the ground level. And infrastructure, Madhav, I have seen myself, Atal Setu, New Mumbai Airport, lot of things. Public are interested in developments.
On the RSS factor, this is the reason when you were showing Vidarbha, if that is the number which is coming in, a lot of it is because of what the RSS has done on the ground. Nagpur is out there. And in the other areas also, the fact that, after 2024 to now, they have made these tollies. They don't say, when they go out and speak to the people, they don't say vote for BJP. That's not what they're doing. The messaging is done in a much more subtle manner. And the Fadnavis himself said that what happened in the 2024 elections about Samvidhan Badal Denge, and we saw that, he said, happening on the ground, and we didn't have a counter to it. We didn't realize till too late that it is touching a chord among many people. So that Madhav group that they have, not Madhav as in your name, but the OBC Madhav group.
Exactly. And that is Mali, Dhankar and Banjara. So I'm also a factor in this election.
So that So those OBC sections which were a little nervous about that Samvidhan Badal Denge faction, which probably left the aanchal of the Mahayuti at that stage, have come come back because, if these numbers are to hold, because of a lot of the prachar that has been done by the RSS, VHP combined on the ground.
Sabha, if 4 out of the 6 regions advantage is to the NDA alliance, do you think, and one of them is a bellwether region, the Vidarbha region, and then you're talking about also Pune. Pune is also a
Pune, definitely there was a surprise win by the opposition, and that seat seems to be going back to the BJP in Pune city.
Okay.
So I was there. But Vidarbha, I mean, he has put his head on the line. So all fair and well. If you recall, I kept on saying Haryana is neck and neck. I also gave you a figure of 240. And I will also be very honest, I do not know.
But what he's saying is that Jarange is not having that kind of an impact.
But let's see,
which means that the Maratha discontent against Fadnavis has not worked, because they said he's a traitor.
Very few seats only.
Yeah, so he started off, he made a couple of comments, but then he piped down.
But then he withdrew. He didn't even contest. Let's go to the next regions and look at the...
All right, let's quickly bring up, in fact, we've now gone through Western Maharashtra already. Let's look at the next set of regions. In fact, this is the factor that you were talking about, Marathwada. How will the numbers stack up over here? And this is an interesting figure, 23 to 27 of the Congress alliance, BJP 16 to 21. So here, clearly it is the Congress alliance that has the edge. Has the Maratha factor worked? Are there other factors at play in this particular region? We'll just analyze that in a minute. The last region that we're looking at, this is of course 46 of the 288 seats. If you can quickly bring up the next region across on the screens, this is the Mumbai region, another very important region, small perhaps it looks like, but 36 of the 288 seats over here. Here as well, it seems that it's a neck-to-neck fight. Congress at 16 to 18, the BJP 17 to 19. Very, very interesting set of numbers. And in fact, JVC, what's happening in Marathwada? Has that Maratha anger somewhere percolated on ground?
No, some seats it is there. See, in fact, Congress could have won this election. Probably they lost out in Marathwada also. They could have swept. I'll give you an example. In Ingoli district, there are 3 seats. It is a time-tested formula that 1 seat would be contested by NCP-SP and 2 seats would be contested by BJP. Last time in 2014, when Shiv Sena contested separately, BJP contested separately, all of them contested separately. Shiv Sena got a mere 6,000 votes. Ingoli assembly seat has been demanded by UBT, and they are contesting that seat. And how do you expect the congressmen who have toiled for 62 years in that particular seat to come and work for UBT candidate who is unknown? Now, I do not know who went into the seat sharing negotiating table with Shiv Sena UBT. I'm hearing that it was Varsha Gaikwad.
No, but they were,
Nana Patel.
They were already sharing part together for quite some time.
It's also the number of seats. So Sabha, it's also the specific area. In Marathwada, it's a Congress stronghold.
Marathwada is also Sharad Pawar has a great deal of influence.
But giving seats to
I want to just pick up the thread, because Nagpur is the headquarters of Pune, is the second headquarter of the RSS over there. And in Pune city, they had laid down everything to wrest back the city seat from a guy who came from, it's very complicated. Maharashtra is keeping track of people. So certainly, I think the difference even in Haryana came from the same cadre which was disillusioned. I mean, you were saying 400, so why do we even need to be there when we don't like many of the things you're doing? The same cadre which was not at work in the national election came back in Haryana, and they're definitely out there in Maharashtra.
So let's take a look at the poll of polls in Maharashtra there, and
Well, it is in fact advantage. Let's go to the poll of polls first. 147 to 169 is for the BJP plus, 99 to 127 is for the Congress plus. This is the general trend, but let's look at the specific numbers that have been given. It's gone as high as between 150 to 167 as far as JVC's numbers are concerned. For the Congress plus, 107 to 125, and others, of course, over here that have been given at 13 to 14. Matriz is 150 to 170 for BJP plus, 110 to 130 for Congress plus, 8.8 to 10 in fact for others. PMark at 137 to 157 for the BJP plus. Congress plus there gets 126 to 146. One of the highest numbers that have been given to the Congress alliance so far.
On the upper side of the range.
On the upper side of the range, and perhaps crossing the halfway mark if it is true. If it happens, that is of course the 146 level. If that does happen, 2 to 8 for others. People's Pulse Now, this is the highest number, perhaps 175 to 195 being given to the BJP alliance. The Congress alliance here getting 85 to 112, 7 to 12 for others. The poll diary is at 122 to 186, 69 to 121 for Congress Plus, and 12 to 29. Overall, of course, the numbers advantage appearing to be
Anand Ranganathan, advantage NDA if you look at the poll of poll numbers, and except for one which goes to the extreme, all the others. I think poll diary has a too large 64 seats spread that it has given. That's वो तो you know, I can say 200 से 300 के बीच में कहीं होगा.
That's plus minus 30. That's plus minus 30.
No, but I want to make a point which I made in a hurry about half an hour ago, Navika. The bellwether that you talk about. Let's look at the 7 poorest districts of Maharashtra. All of them are in the eastern Maharashtra. You have Hingoli, you have Amravati, you have Vashim. If the BJP is doing surprisingly well there, that means that not just their promises of, for example, 1,500 rupees per month, they have delivered it.
Yes, and they have. Between August and October, deliveries have happened in the account.
And coupled to that, what Smita is saying, that the RSS and VHP...
Yeah, I also said,
yes, sorry. Yes.
Because yes. I was on the ground.
Yes. Yes. So, you know, you couple that, and if the BJP is doing well in the poorest districts, that is an indication of what your poll of polls is showing.
I actually will give you a small example. I went to Dharavi and I spoke to a number of voters, and we aired those reports also. And you know, many of the ladies I spoke to actually said that Ladki Bahin scheme, they have received the money. Yeah. They were all very happy. There was one lady who was complaining though. And I asked her, why are you upset? He says, because banks में इतना rush है, इतने लोग आ रहे हैं, KYC कर रहे हैं, भरना है, इतनी भीड़ है कि बहुत problem हो रही है हम लोगों को normal bank का काम कराने में. So one can just imagine if that's the scene in Mumbai city.
Because the opposition has promised 3,000 per month, whereas the NDA has promised 2,100. So the point is delivery and promise.
See, absolutely. I think, you know, Madhav, if I can add one more thing, this 167 can go high, because if there is a wave election, we don't know. Because we have found out that in places like Nanded, where they voted completely for Congress, now we are seeing a swing. I'll give you a specific seat, Kinvat. It looked like it would swing the BJP way, but we are not still confident, because the demography of that particular area and based on the past history, we are calling it for Congress. Now, being on a conservative side in Marathwada, and still this is the number which we are getting.
Well, let's just look at these numbers, and first I want to get a reaction in from Sanjay Jha before I get in Suzy Ben Shah. Sanjay Jha, whichever poll you look at, the projections for the NDA alliance are higher than the projections for Congress, and most polls, and if you look at the poll of poll numbers, they're looking at a prediction and a projection of the NDA more likely to form government than the India Alliance, Maha Vikas Aghadi, call it what you will.
Navika, I have 2 points to make on your question. The first one is on Marathwada. If JVC is conceding that the India Alliance, particularly the Congress, is doing well in Marathwada, then let me tell you, Marathas are approximately 33 to 34% of the population, of the voting population in Maharashtra. And they are not concentrated only in Marathwada. In fact, if you do a biopsy across the state, and GVA will probably agree with me here for a change, the Marathas are influential voters in approximately 150 constituencies, which means the assumption that some people are making on your program that Manoj Jarange Patil is an inconsequential factor is completely misplaced, because I'm aware of how serious that issue has been for Devendra Fadnavis. So I do feel that the election results are going to be much closer, and Suzy Ben is there, my ex-friend from the Congress party. She will agree with me here that this election is complicated, not because of any reason but one. The NCP and Shiv Sena are split. There are disaffected people who want to fight on their own. Plus the BJP is putting up rebel candidates in some, and the opposition is doing some with the BJP, which is like, you know, all is fair in love and war. It's a complicated election. Therefore, to predict the winner in seats is going to be extremely difficult.
Yes,
but I do feel
there's one thing I agree, that this is a complicated election, difficult to project. But one thing I thought was very simple. Once a friend forever. But आपने Suzy Ben Shah को disown ही कर दिया. And Suzy Ben Shah, would you want to respond to Sanjay Jha?
friendship lasts forever. So I continue to read your teleprompter as well. Of course, I have my difference of opinion, but that remains. But good evening and thank you for having me on my show, on your show, Navika. It's always a pleasure. I just want to say this, that learning from the Lok Sabha election, we realized it was a setback, but the difference of seat was only 27. Let us understand that. We, in last 4 months, worked so very hard with hands on the ground that we have surpassed the 27 number. Look at our Ladki Bahan Yojana and all our welfare schemes. What is our basic fundamental guiding principle of this government? Justice for all, appeasement to none, which has gone loud and clear. And the second point being Vikas, Vikas and Vikas. So we have a trailblazer in our Chief Minister Eknath Raoji Shinde. He is the most popular Maratha leader and now the CM. And therefore the people have realized that these Mahayuti have the political will to deliver on welfare, on social justice. So therefore here we are, you can see the numbers and mark my words, Mr. Jha, we are a party on the ground, we are a cadre, our party believes in cadre. So yes, we had opposition, I'm not running away from it. We had rebel leaders, but you see who's managed it well. It is the Mahayuti. We respect the leadership. It is the leadership, it is the Adesh of the party. Unlike the Congress party, who is ekdam leader-centric. The focus is not on the party. Here the focus is very much on the party. Ajit Dada, whether it be Devendra Fadnavis ji, whether it be the CM, Eknath Raoji Shinde, our Pramukh Neta, have worked hand in hand and have ensured victory. You see 23rd, Mr. Jha. Haryana se
Susie Panch, I just want to interrupt you a minute there. This is the latest edition. This is the last poll that has just come into our poll of polls. 144 to 170 is the number that Lok Shahi Marathi Rudra is giving to BJP plus. The numbers for the Congress alliance are 104 to 129, 18 to 23 being given for others. And this, of course, takes the poll of polls total to 147 to 169. That's the range that's being predicted. Now 99 to 127 is the range being predicted for the Congress alliance. Others between 10 to 16. And in fact, let me take that question across to Chandrasekhar Jha. Your party, Mr. Sharad Pawar's faction of the NCP, have been campaigning on the issue of Marathi Asmita. You've been talking about how parties have been split, how the voters have been cheated. But on ground, Mr. Jha, if these exit poll numbers are to be believed, that doesn't seem to have worked.
See, this opinion polls does not matter because the results are going to be very soon on 23rd. So congratulations to everyone and eventually best of luck to everyone. We don't have an enmity personally. It is a political warfield. It's a political warfield. Anybody can lose, anybody can win. At the end, the winners are being congratulated. So the thing is right now is very categorical and very clear. The percentage of voting which has been done, because many of political analysts are harping that there is an RSS, there is an undercurrent, but I do not believe in this theory, because if that undercurrent would have been, this figure of 50 to 51% would have increased more and it would have gone to 70, 75, 80%, but that has not happened. So we cannot believe in this opinion poll. The results are very soon and we believe that we are going to form our government.
Well, everybody believes they're going to form the government, whatever be the numbers. But GVL Narasimha Rao, take a look at these numbers and give us a sense, because the last day, the silent period saw a lot of action and there was no silence as far as Maharashtra was concerned. There was note jihad as called by Uddhav Thackeray. There was a Bitcoin jihad that was also happening. I want to ask you, on both sides, did a bit of desperation show ultimately?
Navika, I think certainly the MVA, the Maha Vikas Aghadi, exhibited signs of desperation, signs of also panic. I think a lot of these hyperactive episodes are a result of that desperation. But as an analyst, I can tell you, people decide voting choices much in advance, not on the eve of the election day, number one. Secondly, increasingly I'm seeing people homogenization of the electorate, or rather unifying voting patterns across regions of a state. A state like Maharashtra is highly exhibits very big regional differences, but even in that region, even in that state today, your polls, or rather poll of polls shows, except in Marathwada, all other regions seem to be swinging in one way. Look at the results of Madhya Pradesh. Was our mandate, or was our victory much bigger than anticipated? Chhattisgarh, everyone expected it to be a small sort of a victory for the Congress. On the other hand, we won a big landslide in Chhattisgarh. Similarly, we won a big mandate in Haryana. Increasingly, people are delivering very clear mandates, number one. Number two, because of our developmental efforts, because of the welfare measures, these so-called regional differences, they tend to dissipate. There is more and more of a unifying impact that you see across regions. And therefore, the results are not going to be a victory of the NDA by 150, Mahayuti by 145 or 150 seats. It will be a much bigger win, because these local regional differences are, they would definitely, their impact would be much lower in this election than we have witnessed in the past.
Smita, you want to respond to that, because both Mr. Jha and GVL appear to be saying the same thing, because Mr. Jha just said if the RSS is actually generally working, the number will be 170 plus.
No, I think the RSS has worked.
Are you saying they are not working?
No, he
No, Mr. Jha said that. Mr. Jha.
Did he? I don't think
he said if the RSS factor has worked, then it's not 150, it's probably 170 plus. That's what he just said. GVL also saying our numbers are going to be better. What is your analysis?
GVL, one thing I want to say is that everybody expects something out of the numbers, and sometimes it is disappointing. You wanted 400 par, that didn't happen. 400 par didn't happen. Same way the Congress thought Haryana is going to be a sweep, but it didn't happen. Of course, apologies that maybe we shouldn't mention Haryana. But as far as these numbers are concerned, one I want to say is that of all this, Axis is giving Jharkhand to JMM. All the others are giving the government to the BJP, the coalition, the NDA coalition. But Axis is giving it to the JMM Congress coalition. 53 out of 81 is what they are saying. But the surprising thing is that to say that the RSS was not on the ground, RSS VHP has been on the ground. This is something that even the BJP is openly admitting. You know, usually it's one of those quiet things where they don't say, and they say ideological partners and all. This time they're openly saying that they are helping us on the ground. And even the Congress and the others also said that in 2024 elections, many of them didn't come out because that 400 par slogan was so strong that they felt zarurat nahi hai bahar nikalne ki.
We'll look at these numbers here, and these numbers, if you look at Uttar Pradesh first. Now we are doing a recap of the entire list of states. Uttar Pradesh important, BJP 6 is JVC's poll, Matrise gives 7 to the BJP plus, Z gives 5, and the average poll of poll numbers is 6:3. IP Singh ji, ये उत्तर प्रदेश के बाई पोल्स में अगर हम नंबर्स देखें तो एडवांटेज बीजेपी ही दिख रहा है इस वक्त। 3 पोल्स हैं और तीनों 5, 6, 7 सीटें एनडीए को दे रहे हैं और 2, 3, 4 ये सीटें हैं। एवरेज 3 सीटें समाजवादी पार्टी को। आपको लगता है कि समाजवादी पार्टी जो 9 में से 9 की बात कर रही थी, कहीं ना कहीं वो एग्जिट पोल्स तो नहीं दिखा रहे?
नाविका जी, फर्स्ट जून 2024 को आपके साथ पैनल पर मैं एग्जिट पोल में बैठा था, जीबीएल नरसिम्हा राव भी थे। आपका बहुत बड़ा पैनल था जैसे आज बैठा हुआ है, और 400 पार ये तमाम बातें मैं सुन रहा था। और आपने खुद कहा कि उत्तर प्रदेश में 75+ बीजेपी जीत रही है, और रिजल्ट जब आया, अगर बीजेपी बेईमानी नहीं की होती तो 60 से 70 सीटें हम जीते होते। तो बहुत खुश मत होइए आप लोग। महाराष्ट्र और झारखंड दोनों में इंडिया गठबंधन सरकार बनाएगा, और उत्तर प्रदेश में तो मैं तो महामहिम से आज अपील किया कि चुनाव की जरूरत ही नहीं है। यहां तो पुलिस चुनाव लड़ रही है, आप सीधे उन्हें सर्टिफिकेट दे दीजिए। और देश में जिस तरह का माहौल है, चुनाव आयोग की जरूरत नहीं रह गई। आप सर्टिफिकेट जारी करिए। और राजनीतिक दलों को तो मैं यही निवेदन व्यक्तिगत तौर से करूंगा कि जब लोकतंत्र को इस तरह से डैमेज किया जा रहा है कि चुनाव आयोग दावा करता कि आप जाइए, घर से निकलिए, वोट डालिए। एक नहीं 150 वीडियो फुटेज है कि किस तरह से उत्तर प्रदेश में पुलिस ने और वो योगी सरकार ने नंगा नाच किया, बीएलओ से लेके अभी तक। इसके बावजूद
सिंह जी,
समाजवादी पार्टी 6
जब हमने उत्तर प्रदेश के पहले बार एग्जिट पोल के रिजल्ट देखे थे तो हमने इस बात का बिल्कुल डिबेट किया था। और मुझे खुश होने की या दुखी होने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि चुनाव मैं नहीं लड़ रही थी, चुनाव आप लोग लड़ते हैं और हम जो नंबर हैं वो एग्जिट पोल के रखते हैं। अब आपको लगता है कि वहां पुलिस वाले आ गए तो आप यहां रिवॉल्वर मुझ पे तान दोगे तो मैं क्या करूं? मैं डरती नहीं हूं, लेकिन जो एग्जिट पोल दिखाएंगे वही मैं दिखाऊंगी। मैंने एक आदमी से तो पूछा नहीं है, लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश के ये रुझान आ रहे हैं। ये एग्जिट पोल, अलग अलग एग्जिट पोल्स जो अब तक निकले हैं, सबका ब्यौरा दे रही हूं। अब इस पे मुझसे नाराज होने की बजाय
देश में क्या चला है, पुलिस का नंगा नाच हो रहा था,
वो भी पूरा दिखाया, सवाल दिखाए, जवाब दिखाए। जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव जी आपको जवाब दे रहे हैं। जीवीएल
चुनाव आयोग की जरूरत रह गई उत्तर प्रदेश में?
ये तो आप तय करेंगे, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज तय करेंगी।
क्या नाविका जी,
माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट सवाल पूछ सकती है क्या? महामहिम राष्ट्रपति पूछ सकती है चुनाव आयोग से कि क्या ऐसे चुनाव कराए जाते हैं?
रिस्पॉन्ड।
नाविका जी, उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता
बीजेपी को
जानती है आज कानून व्यवस्था बरकरार है। आज कानून के तहत वहां राज्य सरकार चलती है, गुंडों के राज नहीं चलता है। समाजवादी पार्टी नाम में केवल समाजवाद है और आपके सरकार को और अखिलेश की सरकार को एक गुंडा राज के रूप में पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता उससे परिचित है। तो जब आपके गुंडे चुनाव अपने अनुसार चुनाव नहीं लड़ पाएंगे, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि कानून व्यवस्था नहीं चल रही है। You cannot, these are the elections that are happening today in the country, including in Uttar Pradesh, are free and fair. You are only looking for excuses for your defeat.
Is this an excuse or are there real concerns? Because we did see these visuals.
Navika, first of all, a great tragedy has happened because in Karhal, one of the constituencies that is supposed to be
a Dalit girl has been murdered.
A Dalit girl has been murdered, but not just murdered. The reason why she's been murdered is because she proclaimed publicly that she is going to vote for BJP. And the police has said so, and her parents have alleged horrendous crime that has happened. So for all those people, Farzi journalists and the guys who say democracy is in danger, where are they right now? I'd like to ask them. Number two, please.
No, Karhal is in UP. Karhal is not in...
But वो जो visuals आए थे उसमें भी तो बोलो ना.
For the people who supposedly fight for Dalit rights, it is really shocking, Vivek, for you to not even express a little bit of sympathy
for every incident of misdemeanor on part of the agencies. There is also Karhal where there is absolutely nil bate sannata. Nobody even mentioned it. But now I'm pulling up the Jharkhand numbers. We had very little time on the show. Jharkhand numbers, fresh numbers have come in from Access My India. Now look at this. 40 to 44 JVC, Metrise gives 44 to 53, 44 to 53 People's Pulse, 45 to 50 BJP is what Chanakya strategy says, but Access My India gives a totally reverse projection. 53.
Where is Access doing its poll after the...
Well, they are doing, the fact is that
they have published it online. They have published it online and 53-25, and that puts the question back. Sabha, what do you think?
I was also thinking, look, I know the JMM was going to hold its own, but the Congress was in a mess, I was told by reliable people. I did not go to Jharkhand. Congress, the person who was in charge of Jammu, who was contesting in Kashmir, He was in charge in Jharkhand of the Congress, then he goes very late.
And he even announced 450 rupees cylinder for
Congress is not the
ghuspetia.
dominating party in JMM,
But
in
I
Jharkhand.
heard, so Congress in there, let us be honest, and the Congress needs to accept this. It did not hold up its share of Alliance Dharma. That is what one was told, so I did not know. I don't know, but if this is true, let's see. You know,
Congress is not a dominating force in Jharkhand. Dominating force is JMM. Congress is a very minor, I mean, very similar to Bihar.
So are you saying without tuning between the two parties, you can actually win elections? But look at the average. Even if you look at the average of all the polls, despite the My Axis poll, it's still loaded in favor of the BJP. These are average numbers, and chances of the JMM Congress RJD alliance forming a government look you know, a little dim, because it is advantage BJP. How it turns out in the final count, I don't know. And let's finally take a look at the Maharashtra numbers. Maharashtra numbers coming up on your screen, and there you have it. That's the range going. This is the largest range, but NDA top favorites in the exit polls, but exit polls have gone wrong. Many people don't believe them. But for tonight, well, these are the exit poll numbers, and this is the Maha Vikas Aghadi's numbers. The others 10 to 16. Will they be the kingmakers? We don't know. But as of now, 145 is the majority mark, and the BJP in the average numbers seems to be above that. That seems to be it. Does anybody have any different ideas from this? Anand Ranganathan?
No, I think because the BJP and the coalition partners have done well in the areas they were not supposed to do well. I think...
leader of opposition in Maharashtra, Mr. Vijay Vedativar, is joining us on this broadcast. Maharashtra में लोग कह रहे हैं कि जितने भी पोल अभी तक आए हैं, एडवांटेज एनडीए को दे रहे हैं. आप कैसे देखते हैं इन चुनावों को? आपको लगता है महा विकास अघाड़ी का चांस है या पीछे चल रही है, डिसएडवांटेज है?
नहीं, अब उसके बारे में हम लोग 23 तारीख के बाद में बात करेंगे. अभी तो 2-3 लास्ट जो आपके एग्जिट पोल है, वो उसे अभी लेटेस्ट जो हरियाणा का एग्जिट पोल आपने सबने देखा, तो हम लोग इसमें ज्यादा डिस्कशन नहीं करना चाहते. और मुझे लगता है कि अब थोड़ा इंतजार, 2-3 दिन का इंतजार करें. हम
बिल्कुल इंतजार तो करेंगे, लेकिन विजय वेदतिवार जी, एक सवाल सब लोग पूछ रहे हैं, क्या कांग्रेस ने ज्यादा सीटें छोड़कर गलत किया या सही? आपको 102 से ज्यादा सीटों पर लड़ना चाहिए था, आपको ऐसा लगता है?
देखिए, अब तो जब हम लोग अलायंस करके लड़ते हैं या आघाड़ी बनाकर लड़ते, 3 पार्टियां होती है. 3 पार्टियों में अब सीट शेयरिंग तो इतना लंबा डिस्कशन चला. अब कुछ लोगों को लग रहा था कि ये तो अलायंस होगा भी नहीं यार, और अलग अलग सेपरेट लड़ेंगे. फिर भी हमने पार्लियामेंट के वक्त भी हमने अलायंस किया था, और इस वक्त भी असेंबली में भी हुआ था. और ठीक है, वो कुछ कम ज्यादा होते रहता है, और हमें पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस है. जो देखिए, जिस तरह से स्टेट के अंदर में मुझे लगता है कि महाप्रसाद जो कहते हैं हम लोग, प्रसाद, लड्डू का प्रसाद बहुत बांटा गया बीजेपी की तरफ से, और वो पकड़े भी गए. जितने लड्डू मिलना था वो मिल भी गए. अब उसके कार्रवाई की बात तो अलग होती है, देखेंगे उसका आगे क्या होगा, क्या होने वाला है. पर इतना जम के लड्डू बांटने की आवश्यकता क्यों पड़ी भाजपा को, सवाल ये भी आता है.
लड्डू एक ही तरफ बंटे, कहानियां तो सुन रहे हैं कि लड्डू बहुत तरफ से बंट रहे थे, लेकिन ये जलेबी और लड्डू के बीच में जो चुनाव हो गए हैं, हरियाणा में जलेबी था ट्रेंडिंग वर्ड, अब लड्डू आ गया है. वेल, किसको लड्डू मिलेगा, किसको जलेबी, ये समय बताएगा. लेकिन फॉर नाउ एडवांटेज बीजेपी इन द पोल ऑफ पोल्स, बोथ इन झारखंड एज वेल एज इन महाराष्ट्र एंड उत्तर प्रदेश बाय पोल्स. बट will there be a new story on the 23rd of November? Well, join us. We'll watch it together. We will be here with our August panel, and viewers, we'll wait for you to join us. For now, thank you very much to all my panelists, and thank you viewers for joining me on the Exit Poll show today. India Upfront coming up next. Don't go anywhere just yet.